Everybody, thanks for your patience. I was just typing up my banners. I wanted to have the prompts on the screen for you. I know sometimes that can be really helpful if you are choosing to do a VR. So first of all, off the bat, I want to acknowledge Maria, Lady Knight of Avalon, for this particular tag. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And this is not a video about decks. This is a video about being inspired by the tarot itself. And I am really happy to share with you some of these magical adventures that I am embarking on, and hoping that eventually I will be able to walk through all of these beautiful experiences. So welcome to those of you that are coming in. I'm also streaming in my Facebook group. So if you are in the Facebook group, please make sure to link your, sync yourself with StreamYard so that I can see your name. I see there's one person that's already commenting on Facebook, and I'm not sure who it is. So you said hi there. So I'm saying hi there back to you. And if you want to go ahead and sync yourself, I'll know who it is. Or you can type in the chat your name, and then I'll figure out who it is. So welcome to all of you. Really excited to do this video. Hi, Elizabeth. Okay, so we have Maria and Tamian, welcome. And Joel, Mira, Lydiane, Donna. Happy Friday. Yeah, happy Friday. I really like my Friday chats. Dee, welcome to you as well too. So this, there's a couple of people. As far as I know, Maria, who did the initial one, and I've only seen one other video. And this was, I believe, I just subscribed to her channel, and I'll see if I can figure out. It is April at Tarot and Witchery also did this video. And after I watched both of them, I watched Maria's a couple of times, I decided that I was going to do this a little bit differently so that you, I want to put prompts up. So that's what I'm doing. So I have a lot of responses to some prompts and not so many to others. So I'm just going to start with how I'm doing this, because otherwise I'll you know, sometimes it's just better to do than to talk. Hi, Mary Beth. Welcome. Lovely to have you here. And Joel celebrated Swedish Midsummer today. Beautiful. Oh, okay. You're over here now. Welcome. Elizabeth is joining us on Facebook. Okay, so let's begin. I have been thinking about different places that I want to go, workshops I would like to take, people that I would like to study with. And I think the first thing on my bucket list is, and these are in no particular order, by the way, but there are a number of people over the years of working with tarot that have really inspired me, and to actually take a workshop with them, or to have a cup of coffee with them and just talk, to meet them, would be absolutely amazing. And so in this particular category, I'm thinking about authors, deck creators, and of course, you know, it would be amazing if we could travel back. And even Robin Wood. I mean, Robin Wood is now on the other side, and I don't have a chance to meet with her. So I'm not including people in who have already left this plane. These are people that are still very much alive. And one person that I would love to do a workshop with is John Matthews. And I think this came from perhaps thanks to Emily Carding, the introduction in the Tarot of the She. And it was in the introduction to that particular tarot. I'm not going to show a lot of decks today. I hope that's okay. I just decided, oh, this is a different deck. Tarot of the She is right here. This deck, right? Everybody knows this one. John Matthews has nothing to do. He's not a creator of this deck. He might have written something in the guidebook. I can't remember, but Emily Carding did a workshop with him, and it was through that this was her, like, her class project, the deck. And so what I would like to do is to sit down with him and hear firsthand some of his stories in his book about the she, which I have. And I have meditated and worked with the glyph of the she. And there's just something about hearing stories firsthand. I want to hear the story of him going underground and experiencing the glyph for the first time. That would be so amazing. So he's one person that's definitely on my bucket list. And there are a bunch. There are a bunch more. Um, and I'm trying to keep today's conversation to tarot connections, because I can go off into my yoga connections and, crystal work and different things like that, Lenormand and different things. But I want to keep this specifically a tarot bucket list. So he's on my list. Yeah, and there are a bunch of deck creators that I would love to meet. And some of them I'm going to include in a different category. I would love to be in the studio. So one of my favorite decks, of course, is, the Lily White Tarot. So I would love to meet Celia. I would love to have a cup of tea or a glass of wine with her, watch her painting, and be with her. So I want to ask you, what deck creator has inspired you, or what tarot book author has inspired you that you would like to you'd really like to meet them, and you would treasure that opportunity to ask a question in person. So not so much for a reading, but just to get to know them a little better, or to pick their brain about something. Welcome, Julia. Lovely to have you here. So yeah, this is something I've really been thinking about. Another person on, oh gosh, there's so many. I think part of the, does anybody know if Margaret Peterson is still alive? I would love to meet with her, or the friend that wrote the introduction to the guidebook. That would be absolutely amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing who your tarot people are, deck creators, tarot book authors that you would like to meet. All right, so let's go to the next one. The next one has to do with experiencing the tarot through a physical place. And there are, oh my goodness, there's about 1 million places that I would like to do that. Hi, Amanda, welcome. One, of course, is to sit in a small town. Let's say Marseille, for example. I know Marseille is not a small town. To sit in a small village in France, or a small village in Italy, at a cafe, and to pull out my tarot cards and just sit there and be listening to Italian or listening to French, and just have that experience. That is something that would be so crazy amazing. Donna, thank you for sharing that. Donna would like to meet Rachel Polak and James Rickleff. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Please add to the conversation, because I think it might help others to feel inspired. So there are a number of physical locations, either where decks have been created. And I wrote down Saint Suzanne in France. Now, Flournoy has passed on, but his wife is still creating or selling the decks. And so I would love to go to that particular studio to see the decks in creation, to experience the wood block. I know it's a little more modern technology now, but to see decks in physical creation process where, it's a little bit older process. So that's something that I would definitely take the time to do. And also, while I was in Italy, I would definitely go to the Il Menengello shop or the Il Menengello factory, or the studio where the decks are created. These are to be in the place where the work is going on would feel really amazing. Yeah. Um, that's an interesting perspective, Mira. It is, that is, I completely understand that. Um, it's a bit like also going back to a place that you've been before, that you have a beautiful memory of. And sometimes when we go back, it it's not the same, right? It's different. So I understand that. Let's go to Julia. Julia says, I feel a real connection to the El Goliath tarot and would love to sit and chat to Goliath and talk. Oh, that would be amazing. Okay, so Donna, we could do this, right? We could plan an adventure together, right? That would be super. Yeah. Okay, so let's go on. I have 10. I have 10 prompts for you to respond to. All right, so the next one is sacred locations or symbols. And I'm thinking, of course, of places like the Oracle of Delphi. I have actually never been to Greece. And so if I were going to Greece, I would seek out and spend time alone. Try to go early in the morning when there's no tourists. Try to find a time where I could tap into the energy of the place, the frequency of the place. I was sharing, so I've been working with the Red Seeds Oracle, and so part of the Persephone, the sacred mysteries that are part of the Red Seeds Tarot deck. We pulled this card last week, and that was the Well of Demeter, which is also, of course, in Greece. Don't know if I can find the card right now, but anyway, like I would really like to experience that and to sit there and to go back in time. Thank you for that, Amanda. I didn't know when she died, so I'm referring to Margaret Peterson because I asked if she was still alive. Thank you. Well, she's also on the other side, so she's somebody I'm going to have to visit in my journey. And I hope she, because she's on the other side, she's part of our weekly chat, and I feel very inspired by her. And yeah. All right. So thank you, Amanda. So that is one sacred place I would like to meet. There's a few that are connected to Oracle decks, so let's stick to tarot. I'm thinking about, it's in my bedroom, it's not here, the Philarcos Tarot. So Carmen Sorrenti writes about the dream caves, also the dream temples. Now, a lot of these locations are not accessible, but with a little bit of work, I think you could get darn close. And I have found that traveling alone, you get a lot more information than traveling with a group. So I would love to do something like that and find a physical connection in the Mediterranean to these caves. So that would be amazing. So sacred locations. I'm thinking also too of the symbol of the Celtic cross. Just being in the UK, and I have another one. So let's go to number 4, and then I can talk about it this way. So number 4. So one of the decks that I would like to walk through, this one doesn't have colored pictures in it, is the Llewellyn Tarot. I would really like to walk through this deck. There are certain, so if you're familiar with the Llewellyn Tarot, um, there are physical locations. I'm going to go to the moon card, tell you the name of the lake. This is a card that haunts me. It really does. Now, another thing you may not know about me is I do have some Welsh ancestry that is Lake of the Maidens. And I don't even know if Lake of the Maidens is still an accessible place. I didn't pull the deck out, but this beautiful card here. So I would like to walk through as many physical locations of this deck in the major arcana as possible. And of course, this would include going to Glastonbury. And I'm thinking, oh, what about Druidcraft Tarot? There's a few places in the Druidcraft Tarot that I would love to experience, and those chalk, the chalk drawings and so forth. So yeah, we're kind of on the same, and this probably would include a solstice or an equinox at Stonehenge, and the timing would work out like that. So walking through a deck, visiting sacred places, I think this is all part of the same thing, but I had another idea that might inspire some of you. So when I was talking about the tarot of the She, so when John, and a lot of my ideas are interconnected, but when John went into the underground chamber, which may be an inspiration for this card, apparently these sites are no longer accessible, but what I was saying is to go close to where it was and just feel the goosebumps like Julia's describing here. Yeah. Walk through the Tildwick. So the Tildwick would be a matter of walking through like an old castle, an old mansion somewhere. That would be amazing. So let's look at some of your comments. D. Newgrange County. Is that where the lake is? Is that what you're referring to? Thank you. Julia. I visited a friend who lives near to Stonehenge, and we walked the route to the stones during a solar eclipse. It gave me goosebumps. I can only imagine how very powerful that would be. So here's another idea. What about another Fae deck? There are, I find in some of the Fae decks some really, I sold my copy of the one with the poem, The Stolen Child. So maybe some places in Ireland. It's just a matter of doing a little bit of research to find the physical location to experience the deck in the way that you would like to experience it. And I know that I have taken the wildwood into the forest and read with it in the forest. I've taken certain decks with me out into nature and had these magical, it's almost like the deck has come alive. So I have no problem carrying decks with me. I mean, on a pouring rainy day, I'm not going to have them out getting wet or anything, but yeah, I think experiencing a deck outside is it's really powerful. Yeah, so connecting with locations, physical locations, or particular elementals, things like that. Okay, so that is the place where the location where John went underground. Yeah. It just gives me chills thinking about it, right? And it's so magical, so powerful. I I can't, and I imagine in New Zealand, there's also some places like this as well too. Too bad Anna's not here. She could talk about magical locations in New Zealand. All right, so number 5. Here's an idea. How would you experience the Fool card? For me, when I think about, and there's a lot of varying contemporary interpretations of the Fool that are just gorgeous. I think of the Fool in, I like the take on it in the Way Home Tarot. I love the Fool in the Sasarai Bito. But let's go to, I'm going to leave the Hermit out as well too, because I think the Hermit and the Fool have a beautiful story in Pixie's art. And apparently the Fool is the almost last card in the deck. So I've been to India a few times, but one thing I have not done is go to the north. And I haven't even been to Rishikesh, if you can believe it. So what I would like to do is I would like to go on a moderate trek, go into Nepal, and at least get close to viewing Mount Kailash. That would be an incredible, because I have journeyed there many times, and I feel like I have been there already in my in an energetic way, but to actually go there would be so very, very powerful. And when I think about the fact that the Hermit may very well be on those mountains behind the Fool, and I think too, by the time I do it, I'll be in my mid 60s, and it's kind of a crazy thing to do, but it's definitely on my bucket list. So I would like to know how you would experience your Fool card. Something that might be slightly dangerous, or just a little bit out of character for you as well too. This is an important comment too, I think, to feel the energy of these sacred places. It's a imprint. What the word imprint means? So to experience the imprint is could be extremely overwhelming. Yeah. Yes. It's, for those of you that don't understand Donna's comment, I have a connection with the ocean. And I have found myself in the ocean many times and heard people on the beach calling me out. It's too dark, it's dangerous, or whatever. And I get lost in the ocean. And I live in Canada, and the ocean is freezing. I don't stay in for an hour at a time. I don't even stay in for maximum half an hour in the summer because it's cold. I've already started swimming. And it's not even warm outside yet. It was 16 degrees outside the other day when I was swimming. So, but it really transports me. I love it so much. So that's what Donna's referring to. Gaia as Mother Ocean. Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, so let's go to number 6. Is there anything else I had for that one? Okay, this is something also on my bucket list. I have been what should I say? The more that I work with tarot, and I've been working with tarot for over 25 years, the planetary associations, my interest in astrology, I mean, it's always been there. And the years in India always have also the I've had several Vedic astrology readings and so forth. I also have a couple of Vedic astrologers that I follow closely. So whatever aspect of astrology, um, there's something about it that if I could, it's much like I was saying in one of the earlier ones. I want to work with an old teacher. I want to work with, in the old way, like student guru relationship. I don't want to take an online course. It's just I would go to night school if you could do that, if you could study astrology at night school. I want to work with a real person and learn and study and maybe even um, make a trip to a couple of famous observatories. And there's something about the planetary inspiration and my wanting to deepen my understanding of astrology. That is, it's about the ley lines, it's about the connections with the planets. It's about It's got nothing to it's an energetic experience. That's why I want to get to know the planets. I want to get to know the planets more intimately. That's that's a huge one on my bucket list, and I feel like I've been slowly doing this over time. Recent fascinations. So I'm absolutely fascinated that both my Venus and Mars are in air signs. And so I take little chunks of this and I try to wrap my head around it and understand what that might mean. And the way that I speak about astrology for some people when I'm doing tarot might be like, "Oh, what's this girl talking about? Like she's so far off the mark." But it's a very intuitive thing, and so I want to learn more. I want to connect more to all of to the planets that are close for sure. Hmm. Yeah. Ooh, Amanda, as a child, I sat on the Devil's Stone chair at Aberbury Wow. Beautiful. So this is big on my bucket list, and I feel like it's in progress, but it's something that I want to invest more, definitely want to invest more energy into. And I can imagine spending some time just sitting my first experience with astrology was in a dark room and she had one of those old ephemeruses, and it was tattered, and she read tarot cards, and it was so cool. It was so cool. Yeah. Um, so yeah. So what is your planetary inspiration, and is astrology important to you as a tarot reader? And for those of you that are and have studied astrology, do you continue to expand and I don't know. I feel like there's just so much out there to learn. It's an endless journey with planetary inspiration. And number 7, let's go to that. All right, so the occult. Let's go back to Robin Wood. So this was a deck that I worked with for years, years and years. And Robin, this is a Wiccan deck. And this is where I suppose my first occult interest in the occult, where I first started to explore some of the references in her deck. Her extra guidebook is just excellent. And so it was through that I started to think about using spells or magic or working with the symbols intentionally, as I was practicing tarot. So, for me specifically, I purchased a membership with one of the Druid associations in the UK, and it is my intention to attend the virtual meetings and to learn some of the practices and to really make this a part of who I am, because I feel, as you know, I feel quite a strong affinity to the Druid decks. I'm talking about like not the Druid craft, but there's the Wildwood Tarot. Is there another one that I work with? Probably those two would be the main ones. And I don't want to be just throwing around terms. I want to experience some of this. And so joining that Bardic Association, joining the Druid, like I joined it a while back, but I haven't done anything. So what is on my bucket list is to learn the practices from this association. And yeah, to perhaps, it's not really important to become, to have rank or certification or, attain status or anything, but I really want to work with these practices. And Mira is sharing about her husband in astrology. Thank you for sharing that. And I think so. Here's a comment, and I have nothing bad to say about Benabel Wen, but I did purchase her astrology course, and I found that exactly, Mira. So what I found was it was so analytical, and that's the way. Benabel is very Vata, right? She's a lawyer. She's very much in her mind, and while she is wise and she does her research and so very connected. I approach it, I need to approach it from a different perspective. I just cannot be all in the mind. It's just not all about it's just not all about analyzing the connections between the planets. I need to feel them. I need to understand their energy deeply. Yeah. All right. So 8, 9, and 10. Let's go to number 8. And some of you are fully aware of this aspect. So what is my creative connection? So on my bucket list is this tarot deck that I've been creating for some time. And it's completely outlined. I have the descriptions, like the minors. The minors are pretty much done. And I had found an artist earlier this year, and he's kind of disappeared. So I need to go back and to think about, obviously he disappeared for a reason. It's not the right fit. And I need to go back and think about the kind of art that is the best fit for the energy that I want the deck to, that I want you to experience with the deck. And so this is my project right now, is to think about the right artist and to manifest the funds so that this can, so that the artist is free to work and can be paid. So that's something that's really important to me. So the development of the deck will take a little bit longer than the book. So I have two books. So on my bucket list is to complete these 2 books that are both very much in progress. One is a Tarot Foundations book, and the other is a chakra tarot. Now, I have been purchasing all of the tarot chakra books that are out there, and what I would offer, some of you have taken my tarot through the chakras classes. I offered 2 of them this year. It would be quite different from what is offered in any of those or anything that you find in the tarot chakra decks. So that book will probably be finished first, but this is pretty high on my bucket list. And so what I am trying to do is figure out a time when I can take a sabbatical. I know I'm not a professional, but yeah, to take some time off, to go to a retreat, and just write, because that's what I need some space to do. Yeah. And welcome to Idge. Hello, Idge. It's lovely to have you here. Idge is one of the persons. Her name is Ijeoma, Ijeoma. So we've met in person and in classes and stuff. So lovely to have you here. Donna is saving her pennies, as I know I will probably be on. Yes, yes. Amanda, can you, without giving anything away, describe the said energy of the deck? Yes, I can. So I've put a lot of time into thinking about the 13 moon cycles of the year and how the energy of the 13 moon cycles could be represented throughout the deck. So in the tarot, we have the moon card. We have moons in traditional cards. But what I want the deck to, I want to understand, I want the energy of the deck to reflect the peaks and the valleys of life through the energy of the moon cycles. And one of my quandaries is that I didn't want to make the deck just a North American deck as far as animals and sigils and the landscape. So I'm trying to, but it has to be cohesive, right? So it will be North American for sure. It will reflect a Northern Hemisphere, and unfortunately, most decks are Northern Hemisphere eccentric, unfortunately, but it's not my experience. If any of you were creating a deck that was Southern Hemispheric centric, you would make a fortune, because everybody in the Northern Hemisphere who reads for people in the Southern Hemisphere does not have that deck. So I want to, and I can't create that deck because I don't have that experience. Okay. Also part of this deck is the concept of reciprocity is hugely important to me. And so that will be reflected in traditions. It'll be reflected with animals as well as humans in the deck. So those are a couple of things. I'm not going to say too much else because yeah. I've also really thought about colors. So colors are really important to me. And the colors as are represented by the seasons will be built in through multiple layers. And it doesn't fit perfectly. None of the layers fit perfectly together, but I really want you to be able to understand the flow. So if you think about Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, I want you to experience red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet through your journey with the deck, so that the more raw early experiences are very red and orange. The more spiritual experiences are more indigo and purple. And I want to incorporate that as well as chakra symbols and different relationships with the colors as well too. So all of this is important to me. Okay. Hello to Michaela. Welcome. Of course, I will autograph your books. Yes, 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 yes. Hello, Sharon. Welcome. And Saskia, hello to you as well too. I didn't greet you earlier. So let's go on. Number 9. Number 9. This I've shared with you before. So this is an important part of my bucket list, and that is the simplification of my life. And I had a child very late in life, so I still have a child at home, and she's 15 now. And so I'm planning slowly, not too distant future, to live a mobile life, to have a motorhome, to be able to live wherever I want to live. If I want to spend a month on my sister's property, I can spend a month there. If I want to travel across North America and give readings and workshops in towns and cities, that I can do that, and I can be free to go where I want to go. So I'm thinking about, caravan lifestyle. And I know one of you mentioned this as well too. I think it was April. So this is not just a business thing. This is a whole lifestyle shift for me. And I've done a couple of videos on. I don't know if I did a second one on the FOMO thing. There was another hashtag about FOMO, deck FOMO, which I probably won't do because I did the FOMO JOMO video. If you haven't seen it, I did that a few Fridays ago. Joy of missing out. And so learning to simplify and adjusting my volume and the sheer quantity of decks that I have is a process. But it's not just the tarot decks. There's going to have to be an abundance of other things that I release and let go of. So big on my bucket list is this shift to a caravan lifestyle where I can be free to go wherever I want to go, when I want to go. So that's, yeah. And I guess part of that also is so that I can meet you. I can actually meet you in person, and I can go to places all over North America, and we can talk, and I can do readings. You can do readings for me. I can do workshops and so forth. Oh, and by the way, my proposal for the Northwest Tarot Symposium was not accepted. So I will not, and I submitted 2, and so I will not be presenting there. So that was the first time I submitted a proposal there, and I'm really interested to see who is presenting this year. But my plans are to go to the Northwest Tarot Symposium in the fall. So if you would like to meet up, I will be there. Not in a mobile home, but I'll be there for sure. Yeah. And then the last one, I just called it the next step. So these are all important things to me on my bucket list. And this has to do with my own personal growth. And I'll tell you one. Well, there's a couple of stories. So for me, the next layer is, can I say, Hebrew classes? Maybe hiring Amber as a private coach. I have done lots of reading about the Kabbalah. I have been working with the Thoth and different decks that don't follow the system of the Thoth. And I have spent a lot of time, as you know, in the background of working with the Maria Tarot. And so the for me, my next step is the Kabbalah. And this includes learning to read and write. I want to read and write these symbols and understand these symbols, understand their numerological connections. I want to dive into it as a really deep study. I'm tired of the superficial knowledge that I have. And so yeah, so I will be, that's huge on my bucket list, is to do that. Yeah. And for you, what is the next step for you? Because I know some people have, so for example, Kristen, right? She created a runic deck. And some people are incorporating runes into their tarot readings. So that's a next step for some people. Other people, like the whole chakra thing might be your next step. So what is your next step? So whether you share your tarot bucket list as just a completely random list of things, or you would like to use these prompts or you would like to use these prompts to create your bucket list, I would love to hear your story. So make sure you use the hashtag that was created by Maria. So Maria's original video is down below, Maria Lady Knight of Avalon. So we can follow along, because that would be absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So is there anything you would like to ask me? I have a few minutes that I could hang out here and answer your questions. I believe. Oh, and also I have, I want to thank Jasmina. So Jasmina, if you're watching in the background, I have received your package. Jasmina was somebody that I comforted. I guess that's the right word. And she sent me a beautiful gift. So I have a new deck that I didn't order that was sent to me as a gift. And yeah, so I'm going to be, so I have a new deck. It's a French deck that I'll be so who is on Facebook? Who is on Facebook? Maybe I should go to Facebook and see who this is. There's a comment that I would like to get to the bottom of. And I see some more people have come in. Welcome to everybody. Oh my goodness. Sometimes syncing all of these, when you're broadcasting from different platforms, get a little tricky here. There we go. All right, so I'll figure out who this is. Sharon O'Connor Trio, witches. Oh, Sharon, I'm just in shock today. Oh, Joel has a question. Oh, you're welcome, Maria. And I want to see Christine Ananda. Hello, welcome to you. I so admire how you dive deep into different decks or different aspects of tarot. I came in late and I'm looking forward. Oh, well, yeah, I'm looking forward to your comment in the chat as well, too. I love the feedback in the chat afterwards. It just gives me a chance to think and regroup and all of that. Joel has a question. Where was Joel's question? I'll find it. It's right here. How to have fun with tarot after a little break. How to have fun. Wow. Okay. So how to have fun. I would say to pull out a deck. So for example, this is a deck that I've only walked through once. I have not even shuffled it. It's still pretty much in order. But I would say to ask a pretty mundane question and to focus on mundane questions. You know, it's like when you start to learn to work with a pendulum, it's kind of amazing when you sit there and ask, okay, do I live in Canada? Am I on the west coast of Canada? Was I born in British Columbia, Canada? In this lifetime, have I given birth to 4 children? And you kind of, you working with the pendulum and asking all these questions, or you can challenge the pendulum with things that are no answer as well too. It's really fun. And so perhaps one of the things you could do if you're coming back to tarot after a long time is to get to know your yes and no answers with tarot. Get to know the energy of the cards. So certain cards are your maybe cards, or certain cards are your challenging cards. So that might be a fun thing to do. And I would say now who was this? This was in one of it might have been in Candy. So Candy Soil to Soul Tarot, Candy Soil to Soul, in the UK. Lovely, lovely person that I will meet when I go to the UK. She's been doing depth. She did a depth year last year and a low buy, no buy. And then she did another video recently that was along the lines of the FOMO video. I might have even written it down what her video was, because I was thinking about doing the FOMO video, but I feel that's too much of a repeat. Just let me find it for you. Maybe not, because I have another video planned as well too. I don't know if I can find it. Anyway, so what she was saying is that, Joel, so this is in relation to your question, is that for me, it's important also to put decks away. I don't have all of my decks out on an open shelf where I'm looking at them. So it's a bit of a surprise sometimes when I sit down on the floor, because most of mine are at eye level, and I go through my shelves and I pull out something I haven't worked with in years. And that's kind of fun as well too, to just let go and to practice, or also pick up a deck that you've found challenging. Throw the little white book away or hide it away for now and just start reading with it. I think the fun is to trust more. To trust more. That's been a really important part of my my day. So I am happy to have a conversation with you. Oh, Sharon, what is the French deck that I got? It is, I will show you. The French deck that I got is called Le Tarot au L'amour étrange. Sorry for the bad French. I want to take off that banner, so just give me a second here. Do that. I'll show you. It's very beautiful. There is the Death card. There's 2 extra cards, though. So there is as above, and so below cards. There's the Judgment card. Sharon O'Connor, I am looking at your comment, and I'm just, I'm wondering if you're okay, and if you want to message me and chat, I'd be happy to. I'm not sure if there is a global matter or something in the news that I have missed. I wanted to show you the pages. There's the Valet of Pentacles. The pages are absolutely, they're so, so sweet. Here's the Three of Pentacles. The Queen of Swords in this deck looks like Ogham script, which works with the tree antler theme. Yes, she is very, I'll see if I can find her for you. The queens are really interesting. I love the pages. So Amanda, have you been working with this deck for a little while? Let us know. There's the Three of Cups card. I think what I'm going to, I absolutely love the Ace of Cups. That's the Ace of Cups. There's a darkness to this deck as well, too. Fortunately, this was a gift. So I don't know if I can find the Queen of. I am really fascinated with the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a door. Where did she go? Oh, there she is. So if you go to Amanda's comment here, Swan Spirit, this also reminds me of a card on this, I think it's the Wheel of Fortune card on the Sasarabito. Oh my God. Okay. That is sad. Sad, sad news. So yes, so I will be using this as a personal deck for a little while, and I will do a review of that. Yeah. So thank you for being here today with me, and I look forward to your responses. I'll be checking the hashtag from time to time, and I will see you on Tuesday for Lenormand and live readings. I keep saying I'm going to come back and do lives on Friday night, but it's just not happening. So I will see you on Tuesday. Have a lovely weekend and take good care of yourselves, everybody. Bye for now.